His name is Perch, and through the strength of his shield arm and some well-placed bets on his own fights, he has won the crowd and won his freedom from the gladiatorial arena where he spent most of his young life. Now on the road, master of his own destiny, he's being confronted with the harsh reality of freedom. Where does he go now? More importantly, how's he going to eat? Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. It is Sunday, and we're going to roll some dice. Now, as some of you have seen in previous videos, I had this notion of showcasing a particular RPG book or what have you on my Tabletop Tuesday program, then doing a little playthrough of it here on Sunday. And that was the plan for today, as I showcased the Humblewood setting for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition on Tuesday. I was intending to do a playthrough of that today. But then I got a comment from TrilloDroid3628, hope I pronounced that right, on my video of the Skills and Powers Handbook for 2E, and it got me thinking. It is a bit harder to come by 2E stuff on YouTube for whatever reason. And add on to that, there's a metric ton of folks out there covering 5E, so what's the point in me adding to that pile? And another thing, I'm always talking about converting various books and settings and such into numerous other RPGs. And I thought, you know what I'm going to do? Convert Humblewood setting. I mean, as much as I need to for today's playthrough, not the whole dang book. I'm going to convert it to 2E, and I'm going to do a little episode where I solo play the first encounter. The challenge was first, how do you convert an encounter designed for a full party down to a single PC? Well, for that, rolled up our hero featured here, and I present you with Perch, the Strig Gladiator. Just look at those stats. I hadn't intended on designing such a powerhouse at first level, but the more I leaned into the premise, which was to essentially make a shield-based fighter, the more tanky he got. So I adjusted the NPCs down to be more doable for a solo play fighter, and well, here we go. Welcome back, everybody. We got our map set up here. Now we're going to have to use the power of our imaginations just a little bit. There's a road that runs through here. Couldn't find any road terrain. I don't know where it's hiding. No big deal. But we'll use the bushes to mark the parameters of it. Now, okay. So we got our buddy here. He's coming out on the road. I'm actually going to read you an excerpt from part 1, The Adventure Begins. Okay, so when our buddy Perch here, he's walking down the road, he's traveling to the next area, winnowing reach, I believe it was, and he sees it before him. 3 hooded figures are gesturing violently at a crumpled body on the ground, while a 4th is leaning against a nearby tree. A small handcart stacked high with bags and boxes of various sizes stands nearby. One of the hooded figures goes to the cart and unceremoniously sifts through the packages, leaving fallen bundles strewn on the road. As Perch approached the 3 strangers who were gesturing at the body, he can see the pointed faces of Mopok under the hoods. Mopok are the raccoon folk. Each 2 male and 1 female, each wearing worn leather armor and clubs at their belt, because they're here to thieve and rob and steal, and possibly to sell this poor victim into slavery. And of course, a dead slave nets you absolutely 0 coins, nothing. So, the 4th, an intimidating Vulpan female, is lightly armored and wears an ornate sword on her hip. She seems to be hanging back, letting her subordinates do all the work. Perch hears a whimpered, "Help me," from the creature laying on the ground, but he can't make out their features. The Mopok female, still standing near the fallen body, puts her hands on her hips and says to the party, "All right, folks, nothing to see. Move along if you know what's good for you." Obviously a robbery. I require no rolls to figure out what's going on here, even in solo play. So, Perch sees what's going on. He has a move of 7, so he's got his move and his action, so his move would bring him here. Actually, let's back up. Let's do initiative first. So, bad guys. Bad guys are rolling their D10. Their weapon speeds are going to be 5. So we roll, we get a 7. We add 5 to that. Their initiative is 12. Now, we go over to Perch, and he's wielding, actually, he has a long sword and a shield. Longsword has a weapon speed of 5, however, the shield has a weapon speed of 6. So we're going to take the worst of the two, just to be generous, and that is a 6. And he rolls a 6. So 6 plus 6. He also has a 12. However, in cases like this, I compare the dexterities of both sides and let the better dexterity win. Perch has a dex 17, so he's clearly a bit better on the draw than these folks. So I will allow him to go first. Now, let's see here. So if he moves, he can only make it this far, and he would have to double move to them. So what he is going to do, he's going to move his 7. He actually has enhanced movement from one of his racials. He's going to move his 7. He's going to hold his attack action, and he's going to actually use a non-move action. He's going to move. He's going to use guard, so that when they come into his sphere, he automatically gets to go first. It's probably redundant since he has initiative, but whatever. So Perch obviously is going to intervene. He calls on them to back off, and they're just kind of like, hey, yeah, okay, one guy, sure. So they have move of 6. So there's 4, 3, 6, 3, 6. They leave crumpled over here. The leader is going to, based on the description in the book itself, she's going to hang out and see what's going down, see if she needs to intervene. It just seems to be her personality type. So we have combat has begun. Now, our buddy here, Perch, has initiative. So now he has a variety of attacks he can do. He can either go 3 every 2 with his longsword, 3 every 2 with his shields, or he can do 2 attacks around with his sword and his shield. However, this will forego the shield bonus to his AC, and since he's so outnumbered, he is actually going to 3 every 2 with his longsword. So he has 2 swings this round. He does not do any shield attacks because he needs that massive bonus to his AC. So he has 3 every 2. So here we go. His first attack of the round is a 5. That is a resounding miss. Their AC is 8. His Thaco is 20. Since he's first level, his Thaco is a 20. They have an AC of 8. So 20 minus 8 equals a 12 or better to hit. Yes, he swings with a 5. He has a +1 to hit with his longsword, so that is a 6. That is a miss. Swings again with an 18. There we go. So +1 brings it to a 19. He hits the lead bandit, and he deals 5 points of damage. However, he has a +3 bonus with the longsword, so that's 8 total. Bandit had 2 hit points, so they are rendered non-combat effective. But so they come charging at him, intent to do him harm, and the first one immediately drops. So I am not going to roll for morale just yet. My rule of thumb is to roll for morale when they're reduced to half their number. So if another one goes down, they may try to run. Probably not her, though. She's got something to prove. So they moved into his sphere. He attacked. The only other thing they can do is move again. I'm going to move the down fighter out of the way, but kind of keep it in my mind he's right here. They're going to attempt to flank. So he's going to move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now they are flanking. However, they have no attacks left in this round. They're out of movement. So our buddy here is just kind of like he's got one in front and one behind. So that's not good. So he's going to want to get out of that. So no action from her. We go to round 2. So he's going to move. We'll go ahead and do his full move. He's going to want to circle around this guy. Now, since he leaves this guy's sphere, that guy gets an attack of opportunity against him and rolls an 11. Now, even from behind him with flanking, let's see, there goes 20. His AC, and I'm going to say he's positioning himself to face this guy as he moves. Even though he's showing his back to this guy, he's got initiative on him, and this guy's not fast enough to take advantage of it. So he's positioning his shield this way as he moves, so he gets the full benefit. They're going to need a 20 to hit him because his AC, as long as he is facing them, as long as they're in his shield arc, his AC is -1 if he's using it defensively. If he uses it offensively, it's going to be a 0. He's not going to go offense with a shield until he drops one more of these dudes. So he's in a -1 and rolls 11. That's a miss. Now, once he's done moving, attacks of opportunity resolved. He's going to do his one attack this round. He had 2 attacks last round, 1 attack this round, 3 every 2. And he rolls a 7. And it's an 8. That is not good enough. So no, he's just kind of blindly swinging, keeping them off balance. Now it's the bad guy's turn. This guy doesn't need to move to attack, but this guy has not moved yet. So he's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he actually gets, they both get flanking. That is a +2 to attack. So from the front, AC 0 or AC -1. He rolls a natty 1. In situations like this, to keep the action moving, I always give the PCs a free swing. So Perch has a free swing on this dastardly no-gooder, and he rolls a 2, so he doesn't do much better. What is with the dice today? All right, now this guy is behind. Now, behind, he is denied a shield bonus. So his AC is actually 3. So 20 minus 3, he needs a 17 or better to hit him. He has a +2. Well, hold on. We're caught on the stomp. And he rolls a 19 +2 is 21. That's absolutely a hit. Uh-oh. Perch gets clubbed from behind for, the full 6. Rude. So bang! He knows he's in a fight now. Says, yeah, that sucked. Okay, so bad guy, she's still not moving. He's going to swing first before he moves because he may not need to move if he can drop one. So he's swinging at bandit number 3 here. He has a 16. He has 2 attacks this round with his longsword. 16 +1 is 17. That is absolutely a hit. He hits for 5 plus 3 points of damage, 8 damage. Guy had 1 hit point, drops him. Now Perch can change his facing. He has another attack this round with his longsword. That's a 7 +1 is an 8. That is a miss. Now we roll morale on these guys because they've lost half their number. 10. He actually stays. He stays. He holds fast. I'm not going to roll for her since he stayed because she was already confident to begin with. So this guy gets a swing at Perch. However, Perch is facing him. He's in the shield arc. -1. Yeah, it's an 8. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. So complete miss. Now that Perch is only facing one dude, he is actually going to go offense with his shield. So he gets 2 attacks again this round. Now, normally it'd be a -2 to attack for his first swing and then -4 for his off swing. However, he has bonuses that basically bring that up to, let's see here. He has a +1 with his longsword and a +2 with his shield when he's going to shield punch. So it's longsword +1, 12. AC 8, 20 minus 8 is 12. That is actually a hit. And the shield punch, 12 +2, 14 is a hit as well. Longsword does D8 +3. The shield punch does D4 +3. So we have 2 from the longsword +3 is 5. 3 from the shield +3 is 6. 11 total. He had 4. He's done. He's out. Forget it. So, gasping and wheezing and panting. Perch is just kind of like, hey, just kind of decimated all your forces. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Huh? Bring it. A little trash talk. He's a gladiator. He's going to put on a show. She's a bit of a weapons master, so she's going to do some little twirly stuff before she moves. 4, 5, 6. Got to move around that rock. So she moves her 6, and she's going to wait for him. That is actually okay because he's actually going to do a shield rush. He has to move at least 10. He actually ends up moving 15. Now, the shield rush, this is his only attack. He gets a +1. No, I'm sorry, +2 on this. He rolls a 2. That's a 4. Now, since he missed the shield rush, he's charging at her. He has to do a balance sub-ability. Balance is sub-ability of dexterity. He has to make a check to see if he can skid to a halt. A 6, he does. He rolls underneath the ability, so he skids to a halt before he goes flying into that rock behind her. She kind of laughs, it was not a very impressive attack. It is now her swing. And she has a 20 Thaco. He's in a negative. Well, actually, he used his shield offensively, so his AC is 0. Still, she needs a 20 to hit, so 14 is not good enough. Whiff. She's kind of realizing, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. Because he has such an impressive defense. Like, it is really hard to hit this guy. So, he is actually going to go full 2 attacks, swing with longsword, and shield punch. So we have an 11 up to a 12. She has AC 7. He needs a 13 or better to hit. That is actually a miss. The shield punch is a 4. No, yeah, swing and a miss, swing and a miss. She retaliates. The 14, not good enough. So, the end of the round, she is going to boot, scoot, and boogie and take off. This is not, this is not a fight she can win. She's lost all her dudes. And this little guy he's dancing around, he's hopping, he's weaving and bobbing. She can't get a swing on him. So as she leaves, he gets an attack of opportunity on her. So since she is running, he'd normally get a +2 for a rear attack. However, she's facing him. You know what? We're just going to say he just missed her. We're going to call that as a near miss. And she is taking off. He does not pursue. He goes and sees, hell, hey, how you doing there?
Well, what do y'all think? I'd say Perch is quite a contrast to the situation we had last week with Barristan. Barristan was far more forward damage heavy, relying on his heels to keep him in the fight, and big guy with a hammer kind of thing with the healing backup. Perch, on the other hand, was just a tank. I mean, man, when calculating that AC, my eyes went wide. Which is also why I made the bandits a little more mobile and maneuver oriented. Getting that +2 for flanking was important to them, so allowed some tactical play on their part, and it mattered in that had they not gone for the flanking advantage, Perch would have never been hit. So being able to be hit was far more exciting, especially when the damage dice were excited as well, wanting to roll their best. But now we see the huge difference in play experience focusing on different play styles, especially as it's solo play too. Now, all that being said, this was more of a playthrough to illustrate the aesthetic difference of Humblewood in contrast to the normal D&D worlds with the elves and dwarves and goblins and so on. Personally, I prefer this for what it's worth. And as the initial encounter went so dang strongly, I'm highly tempted to continue running Perch again next week. Just keep him rolling through the Humblewood campaign. What do you all think? You want to see some more Perch and some 2E? See a solo playthrough the Humblewood campaign? Let me know in the comments down below. That's all we got here for this here Soloplay Sunday, folks. I do thank you all for coming in. Give me a moment of your time, and welcome to all the new faces in the channel. We just keep on growing, and it's such a humbling thing to see you all tuning in, checking out my itty-bitty little channel. Thank you, one and all. And I hope to continue entertaining you all in the years to come. Now, it's a beautiful day out. Get out there. Roll some dice of your own today. And while you're at it, pop in a good movie, watch a cartoon, read a comic, do something fun, make some memories. And as always, have a good